Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey everybody, and welcome. Charles here, and welcome to the show. How you been? How you's going? And what's up? Thank you for joining us this morning. We are live on all platforms, and thank you for joining us. Tell a friend. The Charles Matthews Show is back. It's live, and we're here. And I got a special guest today. We're going to be talking to a gentleman that's going to give us a lot of knowledge, a lot of tips and tricks, just to have some fun with us today. So let's go. Welcome our special guest. What's going on, sir?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm great. Happy
Great
to
to
be
have
here.
great to have you on. So, where are you calling in from?
GTA Toronto.
Oh, so you're feeling the weather like we're feeling the weather then.
Certainly. It is overcast right now. Waiting for the warmer weather. Can't wait for it to
Man,
get here.
I'm like my shorts. I'm just my closet full of shorts, and they're calling me right now. But I'm like, I don't want to take the chance and go out. Then the weather changes, and you know how it is here in Toronto, man.
Oh, certainly do.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
My name is Emmanuel. Uh, I've been in the financial industry for almost 20 years. Worked at a major bank, all in the areas of real estate. The last 4 years, I've been in sales, first as a mortgage specialist, and since January of this year, transitioning to be a mortgage agent. So, helping clients in the aspects of finding financial solutions is what I do
So
on the professional side.
let's backtrack then. Let's
Okay,
backtrack.
sure.
Born and raised, where are you from?
Born and raised, I grew up East Toronto, so Scarborough, borderline, Markham. Yeah.
So did you always want to get into this field? Like
No,
what was the
no.
little guy in you? Like what was the dream? What was the first dream that you wanted to really get into?
I grew up, I was very athletic, so I grew up playing sports. Dreams kind of changed as I grew older around sports and athletics. Like a lot of young kids,
Hmm.
having the dream of getting a scholarship to a university is kind of in the back of your mind.
Right, right, right.
Um, Studied business in school, so the mortgage thing kind of was not something on the radar.
So then when did the mortgage thing start? Like when did you go, there's something here about this thing. Like I see something here.
You know what? I'd have to say back in 2004,
Okay.
I did a contract stint at a bank
Hmm.
in real estate, and that was my first exposure. But at the time, I was still young, didn't really give it too much thought. And then we fast forward to about, I want to say 2016. So during that time, I did roles in corporate banking. Real estate was in the back of my mind, but I was a bit comfortable
Hmm.
in the corporate side. And then I decided to take the plunge, let's say 2018, to just,
So how old were you around then?
oh my Lord, you're asking me to date myself.
the reason
Forgive
the,
me.
re- the reason I ask is you said take the plunge, and every time I hear someone say take the plunge,
Yeah.
it's all about it's taking that chance. It's something that you see something, you want everybody else to see it, and a
Hmm.
lot of people are nervous and scared to take that plunge, but you
Hmm.
did,
Yep.
and you
Yep.
changed something else, and that's what makes you who you are. To say, listen, I see what we need, something in the community. I'll take the plunge and try it out.
Hmm. So back to the question, how old I was?
Yeah.
I'd say is 39.
There
39.
you go. There you
Yeah.
go. And you
Yeah.
saw the difference. So what made it different from then to now?
I'm really running my own business. Uh, Even when I worked at the bank, I was running my own business in a sense, but I
Hmm.
still had the the convenience of having a big brand,
Right.
which was coast to coast, like many major banks. Being a mortgage agent, I'm really my own brand, right?
Hmm.
So coming on platforms like your show helps sort of identify who I am to those in the marketplace. Whereas before, when I was at the bank, people just they see the logo,
And they just said,
and
okay.
yeah, so that automatically attracts them. Whereas now, I really from a grassroots level have to
But
establish who
the
I am.
right, but the great thing about it is you did have the knowledge of the bank. So you are actually the inside guy, if you want to put it that way, that you know how it works. You know
Yeah,
what to look for because you've been there. So that's the great thing about you, is that you have the knowledge of the big boys,
yeah,
what they do, what they're looking for. And that's what you can do to help, the new mom and pops, new clients, the up and comers.
yeah, yeah. Having that insight is very valuable, and it's just funny how things kind of work themselves out. I think in life, you are going through something, and you might not understand how it connects.
Right.
But over time, when you do a retrospective, it's funny how things sort of, what you were going through in the past, kind of, years to come can have a connection.
All right, so let's jump into it because people are saying, "Okay, Charles, we know him now. He's got the insights. Let's drill the questions. Let's find out what we need to know, and what do you see in the future? Because with the house prices going up and down, with the market and everything that's happening, give
Mhm.
us your thoughts on this whole thing with the marketplace."
Okay, well, the Bank of Canada is going to meet in June again, and it is anticipated there will be another rate increase. The last rate increase was 0.5%. Prime, you're looking at 3.20. I've read in several reports that by increasing rates on prime and lenders increasing rates, it should have a slowdown in the pace in which housing prices are going at.
Hmm.
But also keep in mind the problems that GTA and other major urban markets have had is the lack of inventory. So it's anticipated that we will see somewhat of a decrease in the pace in which price is moving at, but it still doesn't tackle the other challenge of the inventory problem. So
So when you
folks,
so, let's take a pin there for a second. So when you're
yeah,
saying inventory problem,
yeah,
it's like, there's a certain area that I want to go live in. Before there used to be like 30, 40 to choose from.
yep.
Now it's like, what, slim pickings? There might be 10, and everybody's fighting for that one, those 10 houses.
So folks that were say a year ago,
Hmm.
when many folks were being outbid for homes, where open houses would draw maybe, depending on the area, maybe 20, 30 people, and potential buyers would only have maybe 20 minutes to sort of go through the entire home and then make a decision. Now with interest rates increasing, um, I think what it's going to do is minimize the amount of traffic that are coming in to potential homes and condos. Folks that have been on the sidelines can now sort of jump back in.
Okay.
I think it'll do that. Yeah.
So let's backtrack again, because I'm
Okay.
looking at the future of my kids,
Okay.
right? The way
Yep.
I see houses up and down, and mortgages, and the rates
Hmm.
of the houses, what you get now for the price. It's
Yeah.
like you walk in and you look around, you go, "How much?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want for this?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're like, "Okay, where's the rest, or how big?" What
Yeah.
should people be doing now to really get good mortgages? Like, what can we do in our communities to say, something? All right, what do I need to do to make sure that I look good on paper?
Well, the earlier you plan, the better.
Okay.
Buying a home or a condo is probably one of the biggest investments you're going to make in your life. So the more prepared you can be, and the earlier is you put yourself in a better position to get qualified and get the condo or home of your dreams. I would probably say your savings, your down payment, really have a sense of where that is coming from, whether it's going to be gifted from family or close friends. Really get that sort of hashed out. Um, your if it's going to be you alone on the application, or maybe you and somebody, really get an understanding in terms of because what a lot of lenders are going to look at is a client's ability to carry the debt, right? And a couple components really factor in the income, so
Mm-hmm.
serviceability to the debt, right? Your job, your what you do for a living to be able to sustain what you do, the debt that you may have, right? Because there's certain two key ratios that you've got to qualify in the threshold for many lenders to be able to borrow. So just being on top of your debt, planning, and reaching out to a professional like myself to sort of get you on the right plan so you can make that dream a reality.
So what about this thing with credit cards? People are like, "Oh, I don't have a credit. I pay everything by cash. I don't have any of that." We were talking about it this morning, and we were laughing.
Yeah.
And it was like, do you need to have credit? Do you need to have credit cards? What does that show?
So credit utilization is a big, I'd say it accounts for almost 30%, right? So actually having a couple trade lines that are being used responsibly, right, is to your benefit, or it's to an applicant's benefit. So I would recommend that applicants, if they have the ability to have a couple active trade lines and use it responsibly, it would be in their best interest, because credit utilization responsibly does play a factor when a lender looks at the client's profile.
Right, because they want to see that you're responsible. You took this money and you paid it back on time,
Yeah, yeah,
responsibly,
yeah,
and not holding debt.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Now here's the other question. And I'm just throwing these at you because I'm going past and of the past when I first got my house and how
Hmm.
scary it was, and how many people should be looking for the mortgage. Like when you partner up with somebody, do you talk to your partner? I always say to everybody, before you get together,
Hmm.
check your finances. Talk to a guy like you.
Yeah,
If this is somebody you're gonna marry and move forward and stuff, talk to a guy like you. What do you say about that?
yeah. You're bang on. You were bang on. Like I said earlier, buying a home or a condo is the one of the biggest investments you're going to make in your life. Um, the the earlier you can get a plan in place and really get an understanding, I think that'll take out the fear, right? The more you know about the process, the more informed you are, I think the more confidence you will have going into the transaction.
So what is this thing called different mortgages? Is there anything with these different mortgages? Is one standard mortgage you should get, or do you have options when it comes to mortgage?
A lot of Canadians will go with the 5-year fix. That's very popular in the marketplace. You have the variable interest rate that's tied to prime. So when the Bank of Canada changes the prime rate, the variable rate will change, which will affect your payments from month to month. You've
Mm,
got you've got open terms as well. So open terms that allows you to be able to break the commitment, pay it off, and not get impacted by any penalties. But by having that luxury, the rate is comes at a premium. It's higher, right?
right.
Uh, so a lot of folks in the marketplace now are probably going to go into a fixed because we're in a rising rate environment, and some folks might not be comfortable kind of going variable and just keeping it that way for another 6 months to a year, right? Some folks want the peace of mind of just having a regular payment for the next, say, 3 years or 5 years, knowing what that is, right?
All right. So here's a question from online from our LinkedIn clients, and somebody wants to know from LinkedIn user, how much of a jump is it going from a single home to a multiple home owner? Like, is it traumatic? Did it depend on which mortgage you had at the time? They saw you with one. Do they say, well, you were pretty good owning that one?
Right.
You know, how much of it is a jump?
So the question is, a client already has a home and they want to buy another home. Is that the question?
Yeah. So it says how much jump from a single home to a multiple owner home?
Okay. So if I'm understanding the question right, the client has a home, they want to buy another home.
Right.
Okay. So serviceability of debt, right? So my question to a client would be, okay, the new home you want to buy, is it going to be a rental, right? Is
Mhm.
that going to be your new primary residence, right? So a client can have more than one home. It's the serviceability, right? Will it just be you on title? Will it be somebody else? Is this going to be an investment property? So you can do it. It's just getting the background and the story from the client. Then I can sort of dive deeper and get give better insight, because from what
Right. Because
I'm getting,
because there's multiple ways. So let's go with you on that. A
Okay.
lot of people are saying that homes is the biggest investment you can do. It's your retirement plan. You want to get another house and move forward.
Right.
Yeah. How do you move forward on that? And then I think they just added another one,
Right.
looking for ideal rental properties. There you go.
Ideal rental properties. Well, I'm not a realtor, but I do
Hmm.
know realtors. And if you want, you can reach out. What I would say for ideal rental properties, what I've seen, and it depends on your appetite, is if you have a primary residence right now, possibly considering a new construction development condo, right?
Mm,
Which would give you time, because with many new construction condos, you put about 5% down on signing, right? Then maybe 60 to 90 days, you put another portion of the down payment, and it's a staggered down payment, right? And that could give a potential client time
right.
to gather funds and
Right.
get an investment property, right?
Hmm.
And then during that time, hopefully the condo is increasing in value, right? Usually you might be looking at 16, 18, 24, or even 36 months before the
Hmm.
condo is finished, right? And over that time, hopefully we're seeing a bit of appreciation of the condo. And then when the condo is built, maybe hopefully you could list it on the market, have a renter in there, and there's an investment property that you could
Let me ask
potentially
you this
have.
question. Let me ask you this question because it's kind of a two for.
Okay.
So I'm a single guy. I have a property. I have a home.
Right. Right.
Right. Then I want to get married.
Yep.
How easy or hard is it to add somebody to the mortgage?
Well, some clients go to their lawyers, right? And the lawyer can assist them on that, on adding another borrower on title. And then I believe the lawyer is going to contact the lender, because when the single guy got the mortgage, it was just
Hmm.
him alone on title, right?
Right.
Now the title is being changed. So in order to do that, you'd have to go to a lawyer to sort of, I've seen clients have that done by seeking counsel of a solicitor.
So to me, isn't it better to come to you when it's both of us?
That's if you're coming to, say, purchase a property, right? Or some clients might just have a random question, like you just had, and they don't know, right?
Right.
So because I've had that, and I've said, well, I know that there's clients that have gone to their solicitor, their
Right.
their lawyer, to sort of facilitate that. In terms of getting someone on title, it's not something that I would be able to do. I can sort of direct clients and what I've seen past clients
Hmm.
do in a similar situation.
So what's the best thing that you, with all your knowledge, that you can really help people do?
If you're thinking about real estate, get in. Um, you know, the best time to get in is now, if you can, because if you've looked at the market, like there continues to be an influx of folks coming into the GTA and other major urban areas, right? And with that influx of new Canadians, they're all going to need a place to live,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Whether it's temporary housing or folks that want to build a family and build roots, like
Hmm.
they're going to need places to live.
Well, I'll tell you this. I just played my Lotterio tickets, and when I win, I'm coming directly to you, my friend, for all your
All right.
knowledge that you know, because
Okay.
this is how it's going to be.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's time to have some fun, my friend. Let's
All
go.
right.
It's time for rapid fire. So basically, what happens is you're going to give me A, B, C, or D. You got 2 minutes on the clock just to get to know you a little bit better. And whatever
Okay.
comes to your head, you just fire it off and you just give us an answer.
And it's multiple choice, right?
Well, we'll still, you're going to see. Are you ready, my
All
friend?
right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. A, B, C, or D?
Do I get a question, or do I just choose A?
Choose A, B, C, or D, and there's a whole bunch of questions on each one.
Okay. Let's go B.
Let's go B, like it.
Okay.
Somebody with something different. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we
All
go.
right.
All right, there it is. Clock's on the screen. Here we go. Here we go. Here we
All right.
go.
Okay.
All right. Question number one: what advice would you give someone getting into your field?
Advice I'd give someone getting in my field. You know what? Create a business plan. Know where your business is coming from. If you're going to join a firm or a bank, try to get a sense of what kind of support you're going to get, what kind of training you're going to get, whether it's from a bank or whether it's from a brokerage.
All right. Question two: what scares you?
What scares me? What scares me? More regulation in terms of what we do as agents.
There you go. Yeah. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where'd you live?
Someplace warm. Someplace warm.
What would you change about yourself?
Nothing. You know what? I just like to be younger.
There you go. Something that you don't like doing. What you don't like doing?
Probably say professionally or personally.
Doesn't make a difference.
Professionally, administrative tasks.
All right. What's your favorite hobby?
Hobby, listening to music.
What do you love doing the most?
Working out or dining.
Sunset or sunrise?
Tough. I'd probably go sunset.
And the favorite food that makes you comfortable?
You know what? Tough, real tough. I'm a foodie. First thing, probably say jerk chicken.
See, you got it right there. Right there. You made it under rapid fire with only 12 seconds left, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned and we get to know more about this gentleman, his new venture, his business, and how he's helping everybody and helping you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Immigrant Women in Business (IWB) is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow. Yeah.
Yes, we're back live with my friend here and giving us some great knowledge. You know, he's gone on his own doing a new venture, but he's had many years in the industry and he's like, he wanted to help people move forward. So he's like, listen, I got to get out there. I got to do it. So let's dive right into more of how you're helping people. Let's pull up your website. Tell us more about your website. Tell us more about what you're doing.
Okay, so that's my landing page. You click on it, and once you click on apply now, above that is brief description of who I am. You have my social media links on there. Once you click apply now, it'll take you into a multi-step process where clients can get a pre-approval. And within 10 to 20 minutes, a client can get an overview on what they qualify for. And like I tell many clients, the outputs are as good as the inputs. So as accurate as you are in entering in income information, any debts, then the system will give you a reflective insight in terms of what you could qualify for.
All right. So this is the best tool. So you can actually do this website, get an inkling where you're at, even before calling him and saying, listen, I did your website. Here's what it says I need to do. What do you think? How can we fix this? This is a great tool. So if you haven't seen it, we're just going to back out one more time. Here's the website. I'll put it up on the screen as well. Just go in. Go in. apply.
And you just put in an email address to get it started, and then it'll start walking you through.
You put an email right there.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go hit start, and it's going to take you step by step of all the information you need. Real simple, real state of the art, real new, right there.
Yeah.
You want to find out his socials. His socials is on there as well. And you can also go to his LinkedIn page and talk to him on his LinkedIn page and message him straight on his LinkedIn page as well. All right. So what is the thing that fascinated you most about doing this, the mortgages now?
You know what? I think it was just coming full circle, being around it when I was at the bank, seeing agents that were new, some I knew, just taking the leap and then just kind of saying to myself, well, why not? What's the worst that can happen? Right. And I'm glad I did it. And for, I guess, to many folks out there that are thinking about doing something new, if you can do it, why not? You know, set a plan and do it. That'd be my only sort of tip or advice. Life is short, right? You'll never know what you can accomplish if you don't take the chance and, you know, take a leap, right?
Right. So investments with mortgages, you know, when your mortgage comes up for a renewal,
Right.
or stuff like that, when is the best time to really start diving into your mortgage? Like, some people just get a mortgage, put it away, don't look at it ever again until the time's up. You know, shouldn't you constantly be looking at new things that are happening?
You know what? For renewals, there's a client that I have right now. His renewal is coming up in July. We are starting the conversation now. He's giving me insight in terms of the kind of rates he's looking for, the product that he's looking for. Some clients, 30 to 60 days out, they will start to think about renewal. Many lenders, you know, within that window, will start engaging clients to say, Mr. Smith, you know, we know that your mortgage is coming up for renewal. Here's a rate, right? So usually 30 to 60 days from the maturity date is when clients should, you know, kind of have it on their radar to start thinking about what they plan on doing, whether staying put or exploring, you know, opportunities outside.
Okay. So with me, I'm always on the fence. Like, the big thing for me is, like, when I'm looking at my mortgage, I'm like, okay, fixed or variable. I'm always on the fence. Like, you know, we'll have this discussion. Well, we fix it and it gets this. What happens if we do variable and it goes up and fix it? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Depends on the client, how comfortable they are. I asked the client, okay, Charles, do you see yourself staying in the home or the property you're in for the next 3 years? You know, to sort of get some insight. If yes, I'm like, okay, well, here's what the 3 years looking like, right? If we go on to the variable side, you know, although it's variable, you can lock in the rates. If you say, you know what, this is not for me. After 6 months to a year, you can say, you know what, this isn't for me. Interest rates are going up. The amount that I'm paying is changing. But keep in mind, though, when you do fix it in, it's going to be at whatever the current rates are at that time, right? So that's kind of what to keep in mind if you do go variable. It's not going to be what
Was.
it's going to be whatever the fixed rate is
at the
that
time.
Yeah.
So it's a chance you take on your life. So every client is absolutely different then.
Yeah. Every file is different because people are different. People are unique, right?
Yeah, because like, if this is our forever home, then we're like, you know, we're good here. You know, we don't look at anything. And if the rates are going up and down, we say, hey, we take a chance. You know, maybe there's something else we want to do. So at that point, that's a good assessment to look at people and see what we're doing. Beautiful. So question is, when are you open for clients, and what's the best way a client can get to you? One is to go to your website first, and after that, what should they come to you, and other options?
You know what? My telephone and email are in the contact. They're more than, you know, I encourage them if they have questions to reach out either by email or telephone. The website is also a great tool as well, because once the client has completed the pre-approval process, I get a notification as well, letting me know that, hey, Mr. or Mrs. has completed the pre-approval tool. Here's their contact information. So that's also a good way as well. So there are a number of different ways in which a potential client could reach out to me. The website is great because it really gives a framework of who they are and how things look.
Now, here's one question I want to ask you, and I'm going straight off of this.
Okay.
In midstream, right? Can you switch mortgage agencies?
So help me understand. So
so I'm with this mortgage agency, and I'm with them for like say the 5 years or 3 years.
Okay.
And then I meet somebody out there, another mortgage agency, and they look great.
Yep.
Can I leave this guy and jump over to this guy?
Yeah, sure. So just taking your mortgage to another lender, essentially. Yeah, you can do that. So you can do that in the middle of a term, but there may be penalties, right? Depending on the product you have. If it's fixed, you might incur a penalty. If it's at the end of your term, so say it's coming to renewal, you can do it. It's call it transfer, or switch, right? Going over to another lender. So you can do that. Clients do that all the time. There may be a promotion or some incentive that sort of gets them, hey, you know what? Let me go over to this lender because I like what they're offering. Right?
Yeah, they sent me flowers. So hey. All right, sounds great. And you got some comments here. It says, sounds like a mortgage specialist. Thank you so much for all your information. You really know what you're doing, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, so one more time, it's time to have some more fun.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go, and have some fun. Here, it's time.
Now time for Pick 3.
It's now time for Pick 3. You're going to pick 3 numbers between 1 and 13, and those are my last 3 questions I'm going to ask you for today. You get to pick your own questions, my friend. So give me 3 numbers between 1 and 13.
Let's go 1, 3, and 7.
1, 3, and 7. All right, here we go. First question. What's the one thing you wish you would have known before getting into this business?
You know what? One thing. There's so many. there's so many. There's so many. A lot of it, like, you can only know. There's only a certain amount you could know before actually doing. Like there's some things in some ventures you learn while you're in the journey.
Yes.
That's I think there's no way I could have known everything before actually beginning the journey and rolling up my sleeves and dealing with clients.
And that's how you become great. As you're working into it, you find out the different things.
There's like it, as with every client is a new learning experience. As with so there's numerous things that I wish I'd known before. So it's not just a one sentence answer.
Beautiful. All right. Number 3, what advice would you give someone pursuing a similar career? Like we asked that in the rapid fire.
Yep.
I want to know if someone if they're going to shadow you. You know, we have a lot of young men out there, young women out there that's looking for a mentor. You know, what would you turn and say to them right off the bat?
Go for it. Do it. Develop a plan. Start to really think in terms of who can you align yourself that you could build relationships with. Either directly or indirectly, that you can, whether it's real estate agents, accountants, like really sort of do inventory of the folks you know within your database or your network, right? Start to really give it thought, because when you make that transition, it's going to be something that's top of mind. So if it's something that you're thinking about, the earlier you can start to figure out a framework, I think will help sort of get the fears out of and just really give you a plan to sort of move forward.
Well, you just said something that I want to touch on. You said, the network, partners, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are you looking for partners? Are you looking for people to jump on board, to network with? Because there's a lot of agents that might be watching this right now and going, "Yo, this guy is great. I would love to work with him."
Yeah, I'm open to networking with individuals. Always.
Beautiful.
I welcome it.
All right, we have more comments here. Great show, Charles. Thank you very much, and excellent mortgage information.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, and now the last one is number 7.
Okay.
Number seven. Oh, here we go. I like this one. I like when people jump into this one. All right. What myth about your industry would you want to squash right now?
What myth? Before getting into it, when I worked at a bank, people would give mortgage agents and mortgage brokers a bad name. And I would say, you know what? There's good and bad in every industry, right? I would really, there are a lot of good professionals, whether they're specialists, mortgage agents, mortgage brokers, really trying to do the right things and assist people. So I remember years ago when I was working at a bank, mortgage agents and brokers would get a bad name. I would say there's good and bad in every line of work, and there are a lot of good agents that are trying to make an impact and a difference in clients' lives.
Right. Well said. And I like that you want to be community-based and help people learn, from the top and bring it down to teach others. And that's the main thing that we can all share. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, if you want more information, please give them a call, 416-938-0613. It's right there on the screen. I'm going to leave it up a little bit more so you can write it down. Plus, I love this website. Easy to use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, a lot of people just want a little information, but they don't want to call a big agency and go, it's just a question I have. Oh, there you go. Just use his system. You know what I mean? If there's something you want to know, just type it in. It will pump something out. And if you have more questions, he's there to answer it right there. And then maybe if you're shy, just send him an email. It's right there.
Yeah.
Any questions? And I'm talking to all the young people out there, just starting off, just want to get into something. The best way to do it is talk to a gentleman like this and just ask the question. Say, hey, we're starting off. What can we do? What's your advice? It doesn't cost much to give him a call.
No. Questions, consultation, there's no charge whatsoever in that.
There you go. See, what more can you ask for? All right, my friend. Thank you so much. And be blessed.
Pleasure.
Like I always tell everybody, you didn't have to watch, but I'm thankful that you did. Tell a friend, tell somebody, and have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice